Okay. Cool. Yeah, you can hear me. This is my first time ever doing a podcast. This is the Baby Boy podcast. Cause I don't know if you've been noticing, but I've been actually making videos and uploading them for the last month. And I got a couple more planned. But at the time of recording this, none of them are finished. And I'm still just making sure they're not the worst thing ever. Making sure that, they're just mediocre. Just good enough that, maybe he'll be good at some point down the line. And in the first one, the how to make a panty shop. What a fucking great video that I will never regret making. Being the typical fucking anti-tuber is over like, oh, there's so much depth in panties. Okay. But I said something about maybe making a podcast where I explain the context for the shows. And that's because this is a podcast that I had in mind. It was originally going to be an actual video, but then I was like, well, fuck it. The only people who are going to care are going to be people who are already subscribed to the channel and care about me and what I do. And no one's just going to listen to some random guy be like, oh, I watched this show when I was 12 years old. So I was like, fuck it. That'll be one less video to edit. Just make a podcast and then just listen to it, Make a thumbnail. Whatever. Easy. But this is the first podcast I've ever done, as I've said before. So, I got a fucking can of Coke. Probably destroyed some of your ears there. That was real close to the mic. Also got an Easter egg, because it's Easter Monday. Monday with an M. So. Oh, fuck, that went everywhere. Well. That's why you shouldn't punch Easter eggs. Okay. With that in mind, the goal for this video series thing is to reach 100 subscribers. And I thought, hey, Monogatari is pretty possible. Monogatari is pretty popular. Maybe that will work. And if it doesn't, then I just look like a big fucking dum-dum baby. So, I got some notes here. To help me bring you guys all through my journey with these two shows. So first was Strike the Blood. I've seen less than 10 anime at the time, and I was 12 years old, and I was like, oh, anime is the greatest thing ever made. It's not anime, it's automatically worse than anime. Because I've always been a fucking dum-dum hipster kid who's like, oh, what I like is best, what you like is stupid. So I watched Strike the Blood. And even though I knew it was retarded at the time, and I know this because I remember going to my brother and being like, hey, this is the show where the main character just gets his parents whenever he's horny. It's pretty dumb. But I still watched all of it. And then I forgot about it because it's trash. And it is the worst show ever made, along with every other seasonal trash. So then I forgot about it. For a couple of years. And then just January 2016, I think. Maybe 2015. No, I think 2016. I was looking through all the old shows I'd completed at the time. And I noticed that a few of them had OVAs or whatever come out since then. So I was like, hey, I'll watch some of them. And then I watched the Strike the Blood one. That was a big mistake. It is literally the worst thing I've ever seen. So the basic premise for that one is that there are some beast monster thingies, and one of them licks Protagon in the chest, and then he gets under her mind control, even though apparently he's not supposed to be because he's the forced progenitor, the world's most powerful vampire. But then he gets under control anyway, but then they have the tsundere girl jump around a lot and get real sweaty, and then she got so sweaty that he smelled her sweat more than the saliva from the licking. So he was able to break her control. Which makes... Oh, it was terrible. It was the same problem as well as Strike Blood 2. In that fan service was real dumb. There was a scene where they were in the bath, and they were talking, and they were naked, but literally nothing arousing about it. They were just naked for no reason. Terrible show. And Strike the Blood's the reason why I hate Filthy Casuals. Because we were all filthy casual at one point. And that's a perfect example of how much you will hate Filthy Casuals. Because at the time, I was one of them. And I watched it and I thought it was okay. But then as I grew taste and watched shows, I realised it is the worst thing ever. So now when I go to conventions and hear someone being like, oh, Seven Deadly Sins, Netflix says it's an original, but it's not really. What are they like? Or if you go to a comic shop and you hear two girls and one of them's like, hey, isn't the fucking ninja guy on One Punch Man so sexy? And the other girl goes, I don't know about that. I'm not anime sexual, which is a real thing I heard. Real thing that happened. Oh god. I'm gonna get a can of Coke. Got it. Yep. Doesn't make it hurt any less, unfortunately. But back to me, because I am the most important, and that's why everyone here cares about so much. About me. And this is the best podcast in the world, and if you think otherwise, you're retarded. I'm not going to be one of those people like, oh, this is such a bad podcast, but making it anyway. This is the greatest. Just like my channel, just like me. So, after I watched the atrocious OVA, I thought nothing about it. I was like, oh bad, I was retarded as a kid, but then again, everyone thinks that at some point. And if you're a kid, you're like, I'm never going to think that. Wait 5 years. Okay. Just wait. You'll get there. I'm pretty sure 5 years from now I'll probably regret this whole YouTube thing, because it's really gay. So, about a month later, I watched the first episode of Bakemonogatari. I'd first heard about it from a Gigguk video when I was 12, and he did his review of it, and he was like, it's pretty good, but they talk a lot, and if you think talking's boring, don't watch it. Which, I'm saying again, because it is the best advice. If I'd seen it when I was 12, I would have hated it. Or at least I would have had a negative bias for the rest of my life in terms of, I'd be like, it was good, but it wasn't that good. You wait until you're 16 or 17, you see a shit ton of gay harems where they just talk and fucking nothing happens and there's boobs everywhere and it's the worst thing ever. And then you see this show do the same thing, but actually good, and actually tell all those shitty harems, hey, fucking step up a bit, don't be the worst. It was great. It was masterpieces, 10 out of 10. But, my first experience with it really is the reason why the whole reason why I made the gay panty shot video, because that first shot really stood out to me, because I was in the car with my parents, and it was just it was a long car journey, 4 hours long, and I was just watching it. I was like, hey, I'll just watch this on the sly. And then that thing came, and I was like, what the fuck? And that's the whole reason why I decided to make an analysis thing. Because instead of turning it off and being like, this is retarded, I was more of just curious as to, what the fuck is this shit? So I thought there must be a reason. So then I overthought it. Made a stupid, dumb thing. So then after I watched the Monogatari, I watched more. There were 3 months of it, and it was great, and I watched it all. Over January to March. Those are the 3 months. And I was like, wow, even waifus are good. Senju Gahara was the first one, and she is the best one. None of your fucking seasonal trash, I don't know, whoever's in Darling in the Franxx. I don't care. Is that show even good? Eating some chocolate now. You're gonna fucking like it. So after that, I was like, hey, I want to buy some of this stuff. Got the Kisumonogatari book, which was the only one out at the time. I got more out, and I've got all of them so far, which is up to Nekomonogatari White. That book, I read it, and I loved it. I loved it so much, but I did a thing. I'm pretty sure some of you are going to cringe intensely at it. Go ahead. I analysed that for my junior cert as my novel. I asked my teacher, hey, could I do anything? He was like, sure. I did this. I only got a C in English, but now I make shitty YouTube videos, so who's laughing now, retard? That was dumb. Why did I do that? Why didn't I do, what was it, Boy in Striped Pajamas? of Mice and Men. I think those were the ones we did. I didn't do them. I did like gay-ass Ching Chong cartoon book. And then, like a month or so later... No. Actually, no, that was much later. Oh, I fucked up the notes! Ah! Okay. So then after that, a couple months later, get the results back from my junior cert. I did the most okay you'll ever get. I got an A in CSPE, and a D in Irish, and then 4 B's and 4 C's. Because I'm mediocre as fuck, baby. Who needs to study when you can watch gay cartoons for kids, for little babies? This is the Baby Boy podcast. You're all baby boys now. That's what I'm going to call my fan base, your baby boys. You know, I make edgy videos. I made a gay mask. I'd show footage of me making the mask, but I think I deleted it because I was like, this is retarded. But expect to see that in the next video. Because I thought, hey, maybe looking like a serial rapist. not a good look, you know? Maybe just get one of those blank masks for a $5. Just use colouring pencils and feathers and glue. So then I got the results back. I went to my parents and I was like, hey, this isn't the worst thing ever. Could I get the DVD for the Bakemonogatari? And they were like, yeah. And the reason I did that is because I've decided that for rewatching shows, I'm gonna buy them on DVD first. And not Blu-ray, because we don't have a Blu-ray player and I've gone so long without it, I'm not gonna start now. And also, I don't notice that much of a difference because I've gone so long without it. So why even do that? It's like an extra $5 for every movie you get. Just get it for like whatever. So I got that, and then I rewatched it all, and I own all the DVDs up to Tsuki Monogatari because I'm waiting for Owari Monogatari parts 1 and 2 to just be Owari Monogatari as a whole thing, like they did for Bake and Issei. But they didn't do for second season, so I've wasted probably like over £100 on just those 26 episodes. Plus Hannah, I guess. That's technically second season. Second season of light novels, but not of the show. No one cares. This podcast is going great. Fuck you if you think otherwise. I'm gonna have chocolate now. Fucking delicious. Easter eggs. Why can't we have them all year round? You know, it's gonna seem like a clusterfuck to you guys like a month after Easter. But it's delicious. I don't care. So, that was the only relevant thing until the next year, transition year. The year where no one does anything, and it's great. So, we go into transition year, and I notice one of my friends is no longer there. He's being a big old faggot. He went to a different school and didn't tell anyone. Apparently just to fuck with me. The prick. You know, then we met at the Japanese Film Festival that following, like, June, I think. And we watched that shitty Sword Art Online movie there. I mean, that's not really relevant. I saw Kizumonogatari movies there. All 3 in one day in a fucking real fancy-ass cinema. And it was amazing. It was perfect. It was greatest anime viewing experience I've ever had. I also don't consider Kizumonogatari movies. I consider them more of just like an OVA. It's more like a TV show, you know? They're only an hour long each. And they're basically the same. Basically the same movie. Well, I do consider Murdoch Scramble to just be one movie. Fuck it. Tangents are cool. You like them. Give them some fucking coke. So that was great. And then in transition year, I did another extremely cringy thing. I did a review of Strike the Blood because my teacher was like, you gotta do some reviews. Now that necessarily doesn't mean it's a cringy thing. I just decided to go about it like a nostalgia critic review because I was kind of into him at the time. I no longer am now. See, I was planning to go through them arc by arc, and what I didn't understand was that what makes a nostalgia critic movie review entertaining in the first place is that it's just a movie. And even then it's half an hour long and most of it's summarizing the movie. So I wrote 10 A4 pages just on the first 4 episodes of the show. And like most of it was just summarizing it. And I realized I'd fucked up real hard. So I did that less and less. But by the end of it, it was like 26 pages long. And it was really gay and stupid. I still got full marks for it though. But I'm fairly sure that's just because my teacher saw how much I did. And was like, well, I can't just not give him the most marks. He did so much work. Even if it is the worst thing ever made. So I was like, yeah, it's pretty gay. Pretty fucking stupid. And then horror struck me. A while later, as Strike the Blood 2 was released. And I realized I had to watch it. I've already sunk so much of my life into it. It's already my least favorite show, you know? Gotta do it. I just gotta do it just to say I did it. And then I did. And at this time, I made the first gay video on my YouTube channel, which sounds like I'm speaking into a potato and recording using that. It does not sound good. Don't watch it. It's the worst. This is the worst thing ever. It's terrible. But I made that video and I was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I did a review of Strike the Blood 2 and just explain all this fucking context there? But then I decided against it because I was like, Well, I decided against it because I was like, hey, what if I do a Monogatari review? Because they're also very similar, but one is the best thing ever and one is the worst, which is coincidental, but also great at proving the point on how you can even make even a panty shot good if you're not the worst thing ever. So then I did, and it was cool, unless it wasn't. In which case, I look like a fucking moron. So there you go. That's pretty much the whole story. Or is it? I made a whole YouTube channel watching these gay-ass fucking ching-chong cartoons. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Either way, this channel is rad. Ew. Also, Season 3 of Strike the Blood's being confirmed as another OVA series, meaning that there's definitely going to be full-on nudity booby stuff again. It's probably going to be the same thing, where they're just naked for no reason. But that's what sells fucking DVDs. Or Blu-rays, I guess, because it's Japan. And when you're selling them for like £100 for 2 episodes, there'd better be fucking boobs and shit to jerk off to. Otherwise, what's even the point? Japan, get a better marketing scheme, you fucking gay boys. I feel like this podcast isn't long enough. But you know what? It is the greatest podcast ever made. And so just for you guys, I'm gonna cram in a different subject. I got absolutely no notes for this one. I had some for the other one, that's why I was able to make a story, even though I fucked up. But this one I got no notes. I'm just gonna shit talk all the YouTubers. Every single one. Who makes anime videos. So, to all the other baby boys who make baby boy videos and are real small, stop doing the way you're doing them. Make them fun. Like, shove your personality in there. Don't be all like, oh, I'm soft-spoken, and I don't make any jokes or have any sense of humor. But look at how smart I am for watching the show and then saying a thing and seeming smart. I don't care. There are a million other people. Just because Digibro could do it doesn't mean you can. He's been writing for like 10 years. Granted, 10 years from now, you might be as good as him. Maybe you won't be. But that doesn't mean that now the market's fucking oversaturated and I hate it. It's boring. I don't care. You stop it. You're the worst. You know, I'm not saying you have to make edgy videos like I do. I'm not saying you have to look like a serial rapist. I'm not saying you have to talk to a potato. You know, keep the quality the same. Just put more personality into it, please. You know. And then also, Mother's Basement. Fuck you. You're a gay boy. Make good videos. There you go. Just make good videos. Why do you have 300k? No, 400. Probably about 500 by the time this comes out. K subs. You were good when you made anime LP analysis. Now you're just making seasonal trash about shows that who gives a shit about. Clearly you don't even, and you're just making it for money. And that would be fine if they were also good. But they're not also good. They're the worst. I can't remember the last time I watched one of your videos to completion. Stop it. Make it better. Don't be the worst, please. I know you'll probably never even watch this video. Probably never even hear this podcast. Maybe you will. But if you do, hi. Bring me on the Weebcast, please. They average about 20k views. My email address is 69weebtrash420@gmail.com. If you think that's fake, just look it up. That was what I chose. That was what I went with. Because I thought it'd be funny. Not Easter egg shit. As someone who has made the greatest podcast in the world, and just chat talk every other YouTube channel as small as I am, so I'll never get any friends from them, and chat talk a YouTube channel much bigger than I am, so I'll never get sub from him. I think this channel is doing fairly well. I think one day everyone's going to look up to me and be like, wow, he was a fucking genius. I love him. I want to suck his dick. And maybe even girls want to have sex with me too. Maybe even girls will give me a blowjob. I'll tell the guys I'm not gay. This Easter egg shit's pretty good. Is it ruining the podcast? Yeah. Still the greatest podcast in the world. On that note, fuck off and I hate you.